and Jalen's 2013 NBA Preview.
We're going to the D, and it's Detroit versus everybody, the Detroit Pistons. So if you have them ranked at 12th, that means you destine them to be a playoff team with the ability to potentially advance. That's what I'm talking about, Motor City. We might get a couple of rounds of the playoffs this year.
Let's look at their fan base mindset. Let's go to a happy place for Detroit
Stevie!
people. This is Stevie playing in Detroit.
That's a ribbon in the sky.
Playing in Detroit.
That's a ribbon in the sky.
Let's hear
I know
it.
that outfit. Yeah.
Look how happy the crowd is. Vintage Stevie in his prime.
Yeah.
Would you say he is the #1 most popular Detroit person?
I would have to give him that if Barry Gordy and Marvin Gaye aren't in the conversation, yes. This is classic Motown, Detroit area flavor. Stevie!
So that's your fan base mindset right there, Jalen.
Just clips like this are motivating to me right now as a 40-year-old man to see somebody with that discipline and that talent that's blind.
I couldn't resist finding a musical clip of what would happen if things went wrong this season for your Pistons. It's Kelly Clarkson playing in Detroit, deciding it would be a good idea to do an Eminem cover. She's doing Lose Yourself for some reason, Jalen. This is what happens when you don't have people around you to talk you out of bad ideas.
This is strictly what's called when keeping it real goes wrong. I'm very surprised that she hasn't gotten anything thrown at her just yet.
Well, let's keep watching. Maybe it'll happen. Can we throw stuff at her? This is your worst case scenario. This is Josh Smith arguing with Brandon Jennings at half court over who got to shoot the last
Well, I'll tell you
time.
this, she looks a lot better than him in that outfit.
That's your worst case scenario. Kelly Clarkson rapping an Eminem song. I really like the best case scenario, Stevie Wonder playing in downtown Detroit.
I'm impressed that she was able to finish that record.
Without getting murdered by somebody in the stands? Yeah, probably a
Very
good idea.
impressive.
Let's look at what they did last summer, because they were up to stuff last summer. The Pistons got fun. They have Josh Smith on their team. They have Brandon Jennings on their team.
Jay Smooth, Young Buck.
They brought Chauncey Billups back. Mo Cheeks is
Big
coaching.
Shot, Chauncey Billups.
And Luigi Datome. I know I messed that up.
KCB, don't sleep on him.
And KCP they drafted. They got a little shooting.
He's a versatile defender on the perimeter.
Now look at the bottom there. That's $17 million in expiring contracts.
Rodney Stuckey's going to miss the early part of the season.
That leaves them some money for some moves. And who they lost, they had Calderon for 3 months. Brandon Knight versus Jennings. Jennings is a better player right now.
I know one thing the Pistons do have. The #1 in-game announcer in Mason.
Detroit basketball!
Everybody has copied around the league Mason's flavor of how he introduces players.
We see the Chauncey Billups.
Absolutely. Sheet!
That is
Stuff
great.
like that.
Here's the rotation.
Now that's a defensive front line that's imposing.
Yeah, they are going to protect the rim. I don't like the Billups at shooting guard, and I think that's a problem. Maybe KCP steps in. I've always liked Kyle Sigler. I think he could have a moment as a ninth man on a good team. They're one shooter short.
The pulse of this roster is going to start with Greg Monroe.
Yep.
He's your double-double power forward that has the ability to play at an all-star level.
Playing for a contract.
They do need another shooter on the perimeter. So on a nightly basis, there's going to be a decision of who's going to finish games between Josh Smith or Andre Drummond.
Let's look at Zach Lowe's big question. Can you play Smith, Drummond, and Monroe together at the end of games?
Great minds think alike. Get low. By the way, he didn't know who the Yin Yang twins were. Come on, Zach.
Can you play those three guys together in crunch time?
Yes.
Yes.
You can't play those three guys together in crunch time. Here's the thing you have to make sure you pay attention to. Spacing. You almost have to run a Utah-type offense to where the guy who throws the basketball into the post, if he's on the wing, he's going to set a pick at the elbow for the guy at the top of the key, and that guy's going to cut back door. And or run a triangle action like you've seen with Phil Jackson.
It's hard to get the triangle going in 2 hours, though, right?
Well, they can still run it on the strong side.
If New Orleans called them and offered Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon for Greg Monroe and whatever expirings need to happen to make that trade work, would you think about
I don't do that because I think Greg Monroe right now is the best player on the Pistons. It's so hard to fill that power forward slot.
Okay. So you're ready to pay Greg Monroe?
You could call him Moose. That's his nickname. He likes that.
Clairvoyant Bill has a couple thoughts on your Detroit Pistons. Number one, Josh Smith is a good basketball player.
Very good and underrated.
He's underrated. This is a guy who year after year was the best or second best player in a playoff team, who always fills the stat sheet, who plays both ends, who's really talented, who's probably somewhere between the 7th and 11th best forward in the league.
And that's either forward.
Right. I'm talking either forward, yeah.
Yep.
And you get him for less than the max, that's a great move. I think he's going to be rejuvenated. I think the fans are going to appreciate him because they've never seen anything like him before. It's a nice fit. I like it.
They're getting two players in Brandon Jennings and Josh Smith. While they both have shown all-star potential,
Right.
they have both had instances where they fell out of favor. They were in positions to where they were pouting or taking bad shots or getting benched.
And the fans got frustrated. Josh Smith taking dumb shots. I do think he's one of those, I call him the 90-10 guys. I love 90% of what he does. The 10% I'm not crazy about. And every guy is a 90-10 guy. But Josh Smith's 10% is pulsating. You notice it all the time when you're watching him. All the stuff Josh Smith does as a basketball player, for the most part, I really like. And I think he's an asset. I think he's going to love playing in Detroit.
He is, and we're going to love having him there.
And
welcome, Jay Smooth. Welcome, Brandon. Detroit basketball.
Clairvoyant Bill also doesn't think Brandon Jennings and Josh Smith will have an argument on the court over shot selection for 3 months. So those first 3 months are going to be great.
They're going to get along just fine.
They're going to be fine for 3 months. Let's look at Goldsberry's graphic. It's our friend Josh Smith. Ooh.
Jay Smooth.
Look at the red. Holy
A
mackerel.
terrific finisher in the paint.
Wow, if there's anything that ever told Josh Smith he should stay near the rim, it's this graphic, because all that light blue is about as bad as you can get, and that's all his jump shooting. And you look back, the three-point shooting isn't much better. The advanced metric crowd is begging Josh Smith to just go to the basket.
Certain players, based on their position, get put into different spots on the floor that aren't necessarily their strength. So if you're playing him at the 3, he's going to have more spot-up three-point looks. If you're playing him at the 4, he's going to have more 15 to 18-foot looks and or drive to the basket. Because if he's going to pay the 3, he's a terrific athlete.
Right.
He's one of the best raw athletes in the entire game.
I think he's got a really high basketball IQ. You throw away like the bad shot selection, which a lot of guys have it.
Good passer.
But he's a really good passer. Like, he's one of those guys that'd be fun to play basketball with. And Greg Monroe's like that too. I watch Greg Monroe, I'm like, oh, that guy's a good passer. Let's see what the Triangle says about the Detroit Pistons. They think Andre Drummond, who is now dating iCarly, equals Triangle Bliss. Andre Drummond decided to break your rule, Jalen. You're going to put the glasses on early. What is your rule about dating celebrities?
You can't date someone that is or wants to be more famous than you. And
listen, America.
It's not a selfish thing, it's a balance thing. If you both have the same strengths and weaknesses as basketball players or in a relationship, it's hard for us to want to sacrifice for one another. That's why they say in relationships, opposites attract.
Right.
Because the guy that likes to go out champagne and campaigning might have a mate that is just the opposite. If you got somebody that's doing exactly what you're doing, there's no real unity there for me. Now, this isn't any scientific evidence or anything. At his age, Bill, just so you know, he's just having fun.
We talked about this once in the show last year with Magic, and you guys were both riding the whole
adamant.
Don't date. Celebrities should not date other celebrities, period, end of story. Like, think about like C-Webb when he was dating Tyra Banks. He's at the point in his career where he's like, this is great, I'm dating Tyra Banks. And Tyra Banks is going, this is awesome, I'm dating Chris Webber, he's a famous basketball player. And both of them are really excited about it. So sometimes celebrities can hit each other at the same thing.
Correct.
So this has been our celebrity education. We have video of Andre Drummond and iCarly with the Love Boat theme.
Yeah, I like that record they playing. But let me tell you one thing he did smart. It's okay to have somebody that has their own thing going on. Because when you have somebody that don't have their own thing going on, what do?
Yeah.
They call and text you and email you all day.
That's true. What are you doing? What's going on? I called you in the hotel suite earlier. You weren't there. What happened?
You said you was going to be back in 2 hours.
Where are you? I was taking a nap. You already took a nap today. Yeah. Well, you know who's very happy about Andre Drummond and iCarly?
Kiss.
The band Kiss. You familiar with this one?
I am. He bought Roger Troutman's shirt.
Is this the best song with Detroit in the name?
Not at all.
Okay.
We got plenty of them. One of my favorites is Welcome to Detroit by Trick Trick and Eminem.
Oh, well, you don't have this, though, in this song. Look at that. Oh, my God, Gene Simmons.
That's a don't get fired moment for me.
Oh, my Lord, Gene Simmons.
He got a lizard.
We're going to go through a couple great Detroit moments here.
Detroit versus everybody.
This is Bob Seger at Pontiac Stadium. Now, Bob Seger, the original face of Detroit music, the white music.
Correct.
Until Kid Rock tried to take his title. You didn't like when Kid Rock tried to take his title. Kid Rock even tried to bring Bob Seger into his songs.
Bob Seger is the legend of Detroit.
He's a legend.
He put it down.
So this is Beautiful Loser. This is about the Detroit Lions. I don't know if you realize that. Beautiful Loser.
No, you got the wrong record. It's actually Another One Bites the Dust. We
That
had
was
Billy
about the Detroit
Sims,
Lions.
no doubt about it. And the one thing that people underestimate about Detroiters is, of course, Motown is our sound. Big shout Barry Gordy and all of the people helped make Motown what it is. But being from the Midwest, we get a melting pot of music that I started to like growing up. I like certain
classic rock.
I like disco. I was exposed to jazz. It wasn't just one certain genre of music. Oh no!
Here's the worst moment in Detroit sports history.
This play right here.
This is Game 7 of the 1988 Finals. The Lakers are up 1. They get a layup with 2 seconds left. Pistons down 3. People are coming on the court, Jalen.
Hey, that's a technical.
Hey, that's not legal. Look at Isaiah gets fouled.
That's
Magic
a
fouled
foul.
Isaiah. He fouled him.
That's a foul.
You can't win a title on that. Magic trips Isaiah as he's
That's
trying to shoot a
definitely
three.
a foul. Hall of Fame mogul, you know you got away with a foul
cheated,
right
Magic.
there.
You cheated on that one. Time for one more Detroit legend.
Axel Foley.
Morning, officers. What y'all, the second
We're the
team?
first team.
We're the first team. Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
So that's another great Detroit moment right there. Axel Foley laid the smackdown in Beverly Hills for 2 movies.
He did. He used to
I don't
rock
count the third one.
He used to rock a crazy Lions jacket in there. We had a lot of pride in seeing ourselves on the silver
I was going to
screen.
ask. Michigan must have loved Eddie Murphy.
We loved those movies, and we loved, you know, that they were shot in Detroit at the time.
And now our favorite Detroit legend.
Yeah! Woo!
This is the very fancy
Yeah!
promotional commercial for the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. Everyone thinks Michigan's going down the drain, and meanwhile, Jalen built a school.
Thank you, G.
Built a school, and it's doing great.
It's doing
And you raised
terrific.
a ton of money for it.
Yes.
For over 70 years.
And you got a big
the Jeep
sponsor in
brand has
Chrysler,
enabled people to
who
explore
did not
their
pay for
power
this, by the way.
within.
We're just showing this because we like your school.
Discover new
Thank you,
paths
Chrysler, for
and new
being our number
adventures.
one sponsor.
Your number one sponsor, Chrysler.
Yes. We really appreciate that.
Look at this. This is a nice looking school.
Thanks for the
With
love.
the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
So
as it
people,
does
they
the
talk
same
about
thing
Detroit's
right
not doing well and all that. It's not all bad. Some good stuff's happening in Detroit.
Yeah, we
it's
got
coming
a lot
around.
of young men and a lot of young women, Bill.
I think this is a good segue into. Oh my
Yes!
God! Oh no!
I'm home.
Oh my God!
I am home.
Oh my God!
Yeah! I remember my first game home, as a matter of fact. Almost had a triple-double. The first part of my rookie year, I didn't play many minutes. My head coach, Dan Nissel, at the time, got burned out of coaching,
Yeah.
quit during the beginning of the
Was
year.
that really the story, or was there like a secretary involved or something?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I was just a rookie. I ain't know anything. I was
Okay.
just happy that I got my teeth fixed. So when we went to Detroit, I purchased 80 tickets.
Oof.
But my family and friends, they came and represented. My Uncle Paramore, he always does a great job of making signs and stuff
Uncle
like
Paramore?
that. Yes, indeed.
Is that his real name?
Yep, Paramore.
That's a great name.
Yeah, and he's a junior, as a matter of fact.
Uncle Paramore Jr.?
Yeah, well, he's Paramore Hicks Jr.
Oh, wow.
Paramore Hicks Sr. is my grandfather. He's Big Daddy. Don't smoke cool, be cool. He's my grandfather's
Don't smoke
motto.
cool, be cool. I like that.
Yes, indeed.
It's a good senior yearbook quote for high school.
No doubt about it. So all of my family and friends were at that game.
Yeah.
I had a terrific game, and we won the game.
So was there any of this or any of this afterwards?
Too much family. The night before, when you come in for family, it's big family gathering, moms
Well,
cooking.
I'm putting these away then.
Having everybody at the house.
So champagne and campaign in Detroit, it's tough for you because you know
Not
too
at
many
home.
people.
Yeah, not at home. When I'm there, I'm at JRLA. I'm spending time with the family, trying to get some stuff done.
A somber, reflective champagne and campaign. Let's go. 24-second prediction clock. I think this is a 6 seed in the East and possibly a 5 seed if the Knicks self-combust. And more importantly, I think they're going to be one of the most fun league pass teams, flicking channels, and you're just going to keep getting sucked into these Detroit games. I'm fascinated to see how this plays out for them.
Andre Drummond, the NBA's most improved player. Detroit will be a 5 or a 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. Greg Monroe will be an all-star at the forward position.
And we probably didn't play up Drummond enough, but he's the giant X factor here because if he turns into mini Dwight Howard, then all bets are off. And this is a team that could win a playoff series and make people nervous a little bit.
And it's going to be nice where Brandon Jennings just goes off for 35 points.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice where Josh Smith basically is flirting with a triple-double. Those two players are that talented. I like those free agent moves.
Well, the Kiss guys are going to play us off. The Detroit Pistons are back, baby.
Yes, indeed.
Get out!
Detroit Pride.